In the once serene town of Somnia, an unspeakable horror had taken root. The Sandman, the benevolent weaver of dreams, had been banished by a malevolent force that fed on the town's collective fear. Night after night, the townsfolk lay in their beds, eyes wide open, staring into the abyss of their own unraveling minds. The curse of wakefulness brought with it more than just the absence of sleep. It ushered in a parade of nightmarish visions that clawed at the edges of reality. Shadows danced on the walls, taking grotesque forms, whispering secrets of madness and despair. The wind howled like the cries of the damned, and the moon bled a crimson hue that bathed Somnia in an otherworldly glow. Mrs. Hatcher, once a kindly old woman, now roamed the streets, her knitting needles dripping with an unknown substance, her lullabies twisted into chants of doom. Young Timmy, the boy who counted sheep, was found wandering the forest, muttering numbers that spiraled into infinity, his eyes hollow pools of nothingness. Dr. Ellery, driven to the brink of insanity, became obsessed with the legend of the lullaby lantern. He believed it to be the key to their salvation, the only hope to quell the darkness that had consumed their town. With a group of haggard survivors, he embarked on a perilous quest to the ruins of a village long lost to time and terror. The crypt that housed the lantern was a charnel house of unspeakable horrors. Bones of the forgotten villagers lined the walls, arranged in macabre patterns that seemed to shift and writhe in the lantern's dim light. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and the silence was broken only by the sound of their ragged breaths and the distant, ceaseless screams of Somnia. When they finally grasped the lantern, it did not sing the sweet melody of salvation. Instead, it unleashed a cacophony of tortured wails that echoed through the crypt, awakening the restless spirits bound within. The group fled in terror, pursued by the vengeful dead, their minds fracturing under the relentless assault of their deepest fears. Back in Somnia, the lantern's light did not bring sleep, but a deeper darkness. The visions that haunted the townsfolk grew corporeal, feeding on their flesh and souls. The town was transformed into a waking hellscape, where the boundary between dream and reality was torn asunder. In the end, it was not the Sandman who returned, but the harbinger of eternal night. The lantern had been a trap, a beacon for the darkness to claim what remained of Somnia. The town was consumed, its name erased from the world of the living, a cautionary tale whispered by the wind to those who dare to challenge the dominion of sleep. And so, the town of Somnia stood at the edge of an endless nightmare, a place where sleep was the only escape, but an escape that would never come. The Sandman's promise had been broken, and in its place, the nightmare reigned, a horror without end.